strategy these teams have is quarterfinal, scratch that, semifinal number 2 has begun. Vitality versus Royal. In Viram, Suije, it's all you.
Royal did enough on Wednesday to win over Twitch chat. They are coming in here now with a bit of that burden on their shoulders as well, but Vitality are also going to be here looking to set up some initial early game pressure, and we're seeing that starting things off here in that mid lane. Ganja needs to try and return some of this damage onto Moon because already Simjo has found himself down from the outset in that mid lane as well. But of course, Lindis. Let's talk about Redemption. Let's talk about how good of an ADC he is, and let's talk about him specifically on this hero.
Yeah, the way he plays Lindis is like coming from the bush. He has that 2 auto attacks that Proctor's have, and look at it, Coco gets caught out, and they get the kill on them already. This is not looking good, and as a result, Redemption is gonna go ahead and steal some of that farm. And if Redemption gets ahead on this Lindis, he's gonna maybe abuse her ability to poke and do a lot of burst damage because she has Lunar Champ in her ultimate, which then launches a spirit at you, and she can proc that 5 times actually, along with the double poke, the 2 double normal attacks she gets from coming out the brush. And then she also has traps that slow you and do some damage if you stay on top of it. So this is something that is going to be really hard to fight against if a Kilgroth doesn't farm and is too squishy. As you know, Kilgroth's weakness is he's a fish. He's really easy to kill because he knows most Kilgroths don't build a lot of damage.
Are fish easier to kill than other animals? Is that a thing? I know, all I know is that Kilgroth in the early game, we have seen him struggle. In example, our first game of the day here. But one thing I'm really going to be watching for are these early game rotations, as we already see the collapse down there in the bottom lane onto the Crush, but all the while the Spirit Sentinel is being picked up, and it actually looks like Sudaro is going to fall there. But heavy committal of 4-man rotation needed there for the side of Royal to get that pick, and now they're moving in here onto the Abyssal Dragon. We've seen this time and time again. The team that can get that initial pick off is then going to be the one to look to get that here, but it already looks like Vitality is going to look to contest this. They're getting a decent poke going in there, and there is Boom. The Vision's going to be coming in there from Redemption. Lims is really going to try to focus it down, but no, it is going to go the way of Royal, and now King is being caught out once again. So the Dragon and 2 kills coming out so far for Royal. They've got to be happy with this start.
Yeah, what a good play by Royal. They dropped it because of the poke coming from the Raz and Redemption putting down the traps. And then as soon as they saw the hesitation from the side of Vitality, they then focused down King immediately and killed the Superman. And that basically allows them to secure the Dragon, and things are looking pretty good. And then another kill onto Redemption. Ganja is just playing so well as Lumber right now.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, barely finding that Earth Splitter. I think actually Linda's thought she was out of that. That was not an ideal situation, and now King trying to disrupt these aggressive invades coming in from the side of Royal. Very smartly giving that over to Simjo there as well. So this is Vitality looking really good at the very first instant of this game, but now starting to be shut down here as Royal is coming back on board and gonna almost finding the Thunderbird there onto King. Nicely done though.
I think Moon blocked it. Yeah, because that would have definitely killed Superman, because the amount of damage it does 30% of lost HP. So really good job body blocking it from the side of Moon.
You don't need Teamy to be a bro.
Yeah, you got Moon.
You got Moon there going in clutch for his squad there as well. But this is where Vitality needs to look to stabilize. They cannot continue to get further behind there. And I'm really going to watch, of course, for how this Linda scales into this late game, because, of course, they are going to be a little bit happier here because they have that traditional ADC. But you have to talk about Coco on the flip side. We know how scary a fed Kilgroth can be.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out is Sutaro is on the Crash, so they're styling the Crash. Superman is actually their support. He is rotating with the Lindis, with Moon, and be able to basically absorb damage and CC his opponent so Lindis can do a lot of damage. So this is a very interesting change-up with how they're doing their draft. I've never seen a Superman be support before, and he's normally always put in silent because of so much power he has there, and the amount of gold you put on him, the amount of damage he can get makes him a force to be reckoned with. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play and how Vitality is going to leverage a Superman support.
Yeah, it will be here, especially as they're pushing in onto the Dragon. They're going to look to try and snipe that out here as well. But the Dragon is actually still going to go the way of Royal. Vitality not able to snipe that out. We do have the Metamorphosis going in, trying to engage onto Hakai. But there we have the Bracers coming in. The follow-up, the stun, beautifully chained with the Ear Splitter as well. As Ganja is now deep in the backline that they're going to try and turn on this. But no, very smartly, Vitality is just going to back here, not overstepping too far there. They've already lost the Dragon. They don't want to lose more kills.
Yeah, that was huge there. Getting a second Dragon on the side of Royal there. Kappa is doing such a good... He's secured. That's the second Dragon he secured the first one. So as Ryoma, he's doing a really good job there. Now what they need to do is they need to focus on snowballing because Roma is so strong early. And look at Coco. He's getting caught up, but he's going to come right back into fight. Ika needs to get out of here because it's a nice rotation by Royal to turn around that gank that they tried to get on Coco.
The Conqueror being conquered, debated, says the side of Royal, thinking that Coco was overstepped. And realistically, he probably was. But the team was there to back him up. Oh, and another big Earth Splitter from Ganja, splitting the fight right down the middle. That is a no-go zone, Superman, and that is King falling as well. Royal in full control right now, conquering the Conqueror, taking down that Lubo, and then using it to set up even more plays. But Moon is going in hard. He has that ensure, and he's going to get the kill there. And he's going to try to escape. No, able to secure that. But oh man, that was a strict out play there as well as rotation from Lee is there. He's going to be able to hopefully help peel for his lumber, but he needs to be careful because Ganja is getting chunked down. The traps are getting decent value, but Redemption needs to be careful not to overstep here as well. So a little slight victory, more a moral victory, I think, for Moon there.
Yeah, what a beautiful play by Moon there. He got Raz in there. He basically was able to knock up all three of them, do so much damage, comboing all of his abilities, and then using the Endure at the right time underneath the tower to secure that kill onto Coco, and then basically giving his team enough time to then rotate. They did lose the tower, but that was a really great play by Moon there.
Yeah, they need to keep making more plays like that if they have a hope in this game, because Coco is going to start to get more and more terrifying as this game progresses. And now that the Dragon has respawned, this will be the next point to watch. So far, both Dragons have gone over the way of Royal. They are in the lead right now by exactly 3,000 gold. That is a pretty healthy gold lead here for 7 minutes into the game. But King is stepping up here. He is the support for his team. He's getting the vision. They're going to try and get this initial disruption onto Ganja, but Sinjo is going to look to set up some of this damage. Shooter-O is there. The Metamorphosis. Lee Kappa is getting very low. There is the split. The going in. The Earth Splitter finding the backline explosion. I'm trying to back up. They are able to snipe out the Dragon as well. And now we have Coco stepping up. The Spear is there, but the Crash getting so much value. The slow. Look at that. They're turning onto this. Ganja and crew are focusing down the Superman. Nicely done. Able to get that kill. That is it. The damage is not alive to the side of Vitality. Yet they're feeling it so badly here. They just aren't able to find the kills themselves. That was huge.
Yeah, this is a key point in this competition. Superman is just not tanky enough. He's level 7 versus, levels 8, 9, and 10. And as a result, he's not able to absorb a lot of damage and beat a tank that they need. You can see Sotaro, when he goes in with Metamorphosis, the team, Laura just ignores him and doesn't really focus him because he has so much sustain and so much HP when he uses that ultimate. With Superman being behind in farm, look at the items he has. He just has Gilded Greaves and not that much items. So as a result, he's not able to tank the front line for them, and every time he goes in, he just gets deleted, and it shows by his 3 deaths so far.
He's able to get like 1 push, maybe 2, and we've seen King in the past do work on heroes like Wonder Woman. We know mechanically he's a great player, but he just doesn't have the health bar at this stage in the game. But they're going to try and fight regardless here. No, very smartly Royal getting the tower and getting out, and that to me, another mark of a great team, knowing when not to push their luck, when to not overextend. We have a tower. We don't need to fight for more. Let's just back out, reset our farm. Let's keep this rolling. No reason to overstep. No reason to give up our lead.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what Royale is doing. Before, they will be a little over-aggressive. They'll overextend and allow their opponent to get back into the game. But you can see here that the 3K gold lead is still standing here. So Vitality isn't falling more behind, but after this tower, it may be the case here.
Sudaro, though, is stepping forward, actually able to help save this tower here. That was massive. He felt so confident. I thought, oh, this could potentially be a dead Crest here. But no, knowing exactly how far he could stay here. And now we see all the side. We see the side of both Vitality and Royal pushing in here down onto the bottom lane. The Dragon is respawning here in a few seconds. Then the bot lane onto the tower, though, as well. Crest and crew are going in. They need to be careful, though, as Sakai is baiting out some of those skills as the Dragon has respawned. So we'll see how much teams commit to this here. 3 members from both sides are here, but we do have now Lumber coming in. We're going to need to see the Raz join in as well. But neither team wants to overstep here, especially with Lubu fighting up in the top lane.
Yeah, definitely. Lubu is not going to be able to sustain against a Kilgroth. Kilgroth is just better 1v1. And look at the lane side matchups here. Vitality is not winning the side lanes because of the Crash side lane. Against a Wonder Woman, it's not going to be able to win that and be able to push tower and put as much pressure. You can see the opposite is happening, actually. And let's see what's going to happen with this Abyssal Dragon player here.
I think the Abyssal Dragon is just very easily getting over the way of Royal. Vitality, they kind of look like the kid who got lost at the mall and he's looking for his mom. They're just wandering around like chickens with their heads cut off right now. I'm not totally sure. This is not the Vitality we expected. They're always responding. They're not making plays. I think they know at this stage of the game, they realize we cannot fight Royal. We are down too much. We have an ADC. We need to play this for the late game, but they're not getting enough elsewhere. If you don't want to fight, that's fine. But get stuff elsewhere on the map. Don't fully commit to the split push. Fully commit to mid.
Yeah.
They need to do something else. Instead, they're sort of half doing stuff.
Yeah, that was a nice ultimate by Coco there. He's able to avoid the Superman from CCing, but Sotaro is going to commit suicide to try to protect his tier 2 tower. And again, I don't know why they didn't go with a Superman side lane and a Lubu side lane, because that's extremely strong 2 side lanes we have with Kresh then doing, and look at this play at the Dragon Slayer. They get the kill on Coco, who's trying to solo the Dark Slayer, and that was very risky. This Slayer buff is going to allow the side of Vitality to get right back into this game.
That was the misplay that Vitality was looking for. That was what they needed to do here. That was massive. Getting the pick off, getting the Dark Slayer, surviving. The Conqueror there. Ika surviving through it all. That was massive there for them. That was the recovery they needed. They are now down only 2.5k gold. That is massive here for them. And all in all, though, if there was a chance for them to come back into this game, it is right here, right now.
Yeah, and you can see the gold lead is starting to be less of a deficit for Vitality, which is really good for them. Superman is trying to get more items. The key is, like, he cannot be out of position. I have not seen a Superman do as much, if anything, in these fights there. King is not CCing, not displacing opponents where they need to be placed. And as a result, because Superman is not making a big impact on these fights, you know, it's not resulting in a combination that is winning the fights for Vitality. So I'm really looking at King here and how he's going to leverage Superman, how he's going to use the CC that Superman provide to put people out of position, to get these stuns and these slows, and allow Vitality to start winning some key fights.
Between Superman, between Raz, they have a lot of displacement here. So they need to be able to leverage that. As you said, they need to look for that big old wombo combo. They need to get the Kresh ult in there. They need to get the Metamorphosis value as they are going to look to rip apart this dragon, and almost getting sniped there from Ganja. That was huge. Not quite able to find that there, though. Now we do have Vitality starting to ramp. Lindis, 7k gold to her name, starting to get those key items on board here as well. So the Lindis redemption, we haven't talked about him a whole lot this game, but we're going to start as we transition into this late game.
Yeah, you can see that he's not that behind. He has 7.2k gold compared to the enemy jungler, which has around 7.4k. So things are looking actually decent for Vitality, even though they're behind it. But they got to try to save this tower and get some kills here. And they might be able to here, potentially, against Coco.
They're going in. The fight is breaking out now. King is going to drop there as well. The 2 kills coming in the way of Royal, just having too many bodies in the field. Kresh was not there at that pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Sutaro, if he had been in position, that might have been a completely different fight. Vitality were so close to finding it there. Royal, though, despite stacking a bit there, they were able to chain that CC beautifully. That was really what they needed there. The Earth Splitter forcing the rotation there that they just really didn't want. And as you said, King has just felt like such a non-factor in this game so far. The Superman really needs to start pulling it together here for his squad. He's the Superman for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. This is why Superman support was so interesting for me, why you would play Superman support. Because he needs to scale. He needs to get so much defense and be that tank initiator in side lane that he's such a pain to deal with. If you focus him, that's exactly what the enemy team wants, because he's so tanky, he has so many items. But because he's the support, he doesn't have the items, he doesn't have the goal to really become that tank initiator, and he's getting focused down too easily and dying too fast. But the key now is they need to get to late game. Once they get to late game, it will work out, because it will basically balance itself out. Superman will reach level 15, we'll get the items, and Lindis will be able to carry, because a late game ADC comp here is going to be a much better situation to be in versus what Royal has here, where we almost starts to fall off a little bit in the late game.
Yeah, and you see heroes like Lubu, like Superman, like Kresh, who all also do scale well into that late game, and you cannot forget about Moon. He is going to start hitting like an absolute truck. He's able to just throw out those shards time and time again, so really watch for those here as the fight might look to start to break out here in the bot lane as the bottom tower does go down for the side of Vitality. 10 kills to 4. Royal has been looking good all game long, but we haven't really seen the big 5-man fight. Vitality have been stalling, but now maybe they think they have the farm. They are able to defend under their tower. They're going to look to go in. The Earth Splitter not getting any value in the backline, so now this is the time for Royal to just leave. They didn't find the initiation. They need to not overstep, but Coco is here. He might be a point of contention, but no, very wisely, Royal didn't find the initiation. They're just going to reset.
Yeah, really nice job there by the side of Vitality to cut the wave from the very top, using the Crash, jumping in there, using his Whirlpool ability, and then Lindis from the right side, taking out that wave, and then Lumber trying to get a play there under tower, but they completely anticipated that and avoided the Earth Splitter from knocking up any of the members on Vitality, and they protect the tier 2 mid tower. If they keep this up and they turtle, they'll be looking really good to then start scaling, because Redemption is starting to get fed in these fights, along with Moon as well. Moon and Redemption are going to do so much damage if they aren't shut down right now.
So I'm looking at Coco. I'm looking at Redemption. They're going to be the ones really leveraging that damage for their squad. And Coco, he's going to be hitting like a truck, but he definitely not quite where we were expecting here at this stage of the game. I'm really looking for him to even be hitting a little bit harder. You even saw how long it took him just to clear that minion wave there, as once again, Ganja not finding that pivotal Earth Splitter there in the mid, but King needs to be careful stepping so far forward. Already, just a little bit of damage comes his way, and that health bar just starts to drop. He is really not as tanky as he wanted to be at this stage of the game.
He's got to get more. Once he gets a tier 4 item, he's good. With Gaia standard, he has 1100 additional HP there, so that's not too bad for him. Once he gets that 4th tier 3 item, he's going to be able to really tank more for the enemy. Against the enemy team here.
Yeah, Gaia's standard's definitely going to get a lot of value, especially these fights drag out over long periods of time, able to get that health. That's going to be massive there for him. So, again, Vitality, they're turtling beautifully, but at some point, they need to pull the trigger.
Yeah, they definitely need to pull the trigger because with an ADC composition, and they're going to start getting so much. Look at the damage item. Lindis is almost finished with her 6th tier 3 item. This is going to be really rough for the side of Royal here, because if they can't get onto that Lindis, and Redemption is going to do so much damage from the backline, it's going to be so hard for them to win a lot of these fights. So that Kilgroth needs to try to get to that backline and destroy either Moon or Redemption, because those two main damage dealers are pretty fed. Look at that, 5 tier 3 items on Raz already. And the item parity is starting to be even. Roma's already full build. They have to push their advantage now and try to get another tier 2 tower or a high ground tower eventually.
Yeah, they need to find that as the fight breaks out here on the Slayer side, as King is the one stepping too far forward. The Earth Splitter is not going to connect, but we have Suda on the back line. Look at the damage coming through. Kresh is standing tall, and they are able to look to split despite the Whirlpools there. Now Ika has joined. Look at the damage coming in. The knock-up, the follow-up is there. They do end up losing that key hero, but no! Somehow Royal endures through it. So 2 kills going the way for Royal. I thought they were all going to start to fall, but the damage wasn't there. Redemption just was not able to just land it. They were all stacked up. It was perfectly put together. It was a nice portion, a beautiful sandwich, and Vitality just couldn't take the bite.
Yeah, I don't know what Vitality is doing. They need to play around the Lindis. Like, them going in like that, there's no reason for Superman to go in. There's no reason for Kresh to go in. You just need to peel and protect Lindis. Let Lindis fight from back to front. They're trying to fight. They're half diving and letting Lindis pull from far. You need to fight with the Lindis and not allow them to get on her and just let her kite them and kill them. And look at this play here by Moon. He's going to do so much damage there and using it right at the right time here. He's going to fall.
He is going to fall, but able to sort of shut down that aggression at this point from Royal, but they're totally fine because the Dark Slayer's up on the map right now. They're instantly going to look to rotate to that. But on the side of Vitality, I am going to chase this right now. They cannot allow them to pick up the key Dark Slayer, and it looks like Royal is just actually going to back out instead. The health bar is not in a position where they can actually do that. That is a huge boon there for the side of Vitality. If that could have been massive. If Royal was able to instantly convert onto a Dark Slayer, that could have been it, but instead...
Wow, look how fast Lindis is taking this Dark Slayer. However, Tulin is there. He might be able to steal it here, and we'll be able to. Yeah,
they're going to look to go in, and yes, the Dark Slayer is going to go the way of Vitality. King able to grab that there. That was massive, and Simjo getting absolutely chunked by Redemption. King has stepped way too far forward, but he has done his job. He has created that space, and he has gotten that buff for his team. That's the Redemption we were looking for. Look at how fast he chunked that hero there. Simjo just got deleted.
Yeah, that was so risky for Simjo to try to come from the backline, try to focus Redemption, and as a result, he got collapsed on and instantly deleted. And really nice shot. Although King died and is basically down 5 deaths, he was the one that stole that Dark Slayer. That Superman came in there flying, took the Dark Slayer, and now Vitality has a breath of life to turn this game around into their advantage.
They haven't lost a high ground yet. That's huge. They're not going to be having these super minions spawn for the side of Royal. That's what they need, and now only a 5K gold difference. This is their opportunity. We've said it once before. The last time they got that Dark Slayer buff, they needed to make something happen. They got decent value, but this is really the time. They need to get an ace, a convincing 5-man fight. They need to push down top and mid. They need to get the pressure going right now, because at this point, Royal, they're just going to run away with this.
Yeah, they definitely are. And again, the key is Vitality needs to fight around the Lindis. There's no reason to go in. Let her poke. The other team needs to dive you. You don't need to dive them. Why are you diving Royal? Let Lindis poke them. Force the dive onto Lindis. Then use Superman to push everyone off the Lindis. And then Moon and the Lebu can go in there, do their knockups, time it perfectly together, and just delete the enemy team. If they continue to fight where they're diving and Lindis is just trying to contribute to the fight, they're not going to win. They have to abuse the range. You have an ADC comp, abuse that range, poke the heck out of them, force them to make a mistake and try to dive you and win this fight.
It's funny, you look at the side of Vitality, it's all about pushing them away, pushing them away, pushing them away. Or
Yeah,
in,
exactly.
potentially, but it's all about, okay, diving onto Lindis, all right, push them back, let her do damage. All right, they're coming onto Lindis, push them back, reset. As exactly as you say, they need to play around Redemption. He is the linchpin for this draft.
Yeah.
As much as a playmaker as Moon is, he is really secondary here to this Lindis.
Yeah.
Redemption is talk about eggs and baskets, that's the egg.
Yeah, and I see this all the time. They don't dive a dive comp. You know, you're doing them a favor when you do that. And oh my goodness, Moon is gonna get deleted there. They're again, they're not having a numbers advantage, so I don't know why they're trying to fight here like this. It's really tough for them. Nice ult by Crash, but they needed to time that together. And as a result, going in there without Lindis poking, they're not going to win any of these fights. These dives are just not working, and Vitality needs to change up their play, or else they're going to lose this game.
I mean, Moon does have Ancestral Glory, so I get what he was trying to do there, but it just wasn't enough. And look at Redemption, even just hitting on like Ganja and stuff, it's just not doing enough damage. At this stage of the game, one ADC is not enough to save you. As we are learning here, as Suitaro is going in, he's not going to have the Metamorphosis here, as King is trying to join the fray, but it is not nearly enough. The Bracelets of Submission is coming in as well, giving a nice big shield. Suitaro is going to drop once more as the rotation between top and mid is in full swing for the side of Royal. I believe that this will probably be the icing on the cake here. This might be the nail in the coffin as the side of Royal is pushing in onto the core. They are starting to smack away at it. The minions are joining them though, but the core is doing a lot of damage as King is going to drop as well. Wonderman's actually going to fall here. And Ika and Redemption, they're going to try and hold here onto the core. They might be able to do so. It is Coco getting chunked down. Lindis is actually going to fall though as well, trading up for Wonder Woman once more. So the hold is there, but we do have Coco reviving here onto the core. The knock up, the follow-up damage, he will not be able to do it. We saw some crazy core plays coming out last week, and it's not going to see a repeat of that.
Yeah, nice job by King there, pushing the wave over there so that the team cannot rush the core. Because without a minion wave, it has so much damage reduction. And there goes Ika down. They need to make sure. He has Ancestral Glory, so he might come back up here. No, he doesn't buy it in time, unfortunately.
That was actually a huge misstep. He needed to not die right there. That was actually massive as Suitaro and Moon are now here. But look at the damage on the lead. Moon hits like a freight train, but he is not going to be coming back here once more, just instantly getting deleted. That's the problem with the Raz here, is he just really commits, and Ryoma and Tulin just blast him. Once Sim just starts to get this lightning channeled up, the second Raz go in, he's just getting melted.
Yeah, he is. And again, Vitality, I don't know why they're diving into the enemy team. There is no reason to do that. Why? You have an ADC composition. The way they're playing this composition is really having me question their thinking process in terms of how they're team fighting. And they're always team fighting uneven. They're diving in 2v5 or 2v4, and there's no follow-up. No one else is following up from the side of Vitality. I don't know why they're even bothering to dive. Like, you have the range, stop diving, use Lindis to win these fights, and poke, force the enemy team to dive you. Otherwise, you know, I don't see any way Vitality is going to win this game with how they're playing there. There's no way they're going to come back if they continue to not play to their win conditions and try to dive a comp that wants to dive you.
I agree wholeheartedly. They are. We haven't even really seen like a true 5v5 fight. We just haven't seen it. It's so bizarre because we see great individual plays coming out from Vitality. And great, and again, individual map sense as well. But Ganja, just look at how tanky he is at this stage of the game. Look at how much poke they have to put in there onto this Lumber as well. King, though, is finally starting to scale it well. I guess that is the one little benefit going the way of Vitality through all this. Superman is finally starting to scale up, which is what they need. But you said it perfectly. They just need to play around Redemption. They need to play to their win condition.
Yeah, and Moon, look at Moon. He's poking so much these fights. He cannot get caught out like that. Every time he goes in, there's no reason to go in. He needs to go in when they're low, and as a result, because he's going in like that, he's getting focused so easily. He has no defense, just Ancestral Glory, which isn't enough. He just needs to poke. Raz has so much, he has infinite poke because of his power surge.
Crucial misplay. They were trying to disrupt the Earth Splitter. They were trying to find that interrupt, but they actually just completely mistimed it. Ended up both getting knocked up instead. They were not there in time. They're half a second late. We saw the punch go in. We saw the lift. We saw the Red Stallion come in, but it literally wasn't there in time. That was actually huge for the side of Vitality. They were not trying to dive that as crazy, I think, as they did. Is now the Darkslayer is going to go the way over of Royal. I don't think Vitality can get there in time, so that is going to be, I think, exactly what Royal needs to win this game. Vitality, they're driving on fumes right now.
Yeah, they are, and this is going to be probably GG because with Darkslayer, and look at the core, it's less than half health. All they need to do is get those super minions to the core and finish and just rush the core. They don't even have to fight. With the Darkslayer buff, they're going to do so much damage onto that core, and 2 of the high ground towers down. It's going to look really tough for Vitality to come back from this one. 7
Ancestral Glories in the game right now. Every single member of the side of Royal is going to be packing one of those bad boys. So they're going to be coming back in these fights as they look to push in now onto the core. They have the minion waves in mid, in top, in bottom. They have the buff. King is going in, baiting out the Earth Splitter. That is actually huge. Coco needs to be careful not to overstep. But look at Redemption. As hard as he's hitting, it's just not nearly enough. These health bars now for the side of Royal are just getting too strong. They have reached that critical late game mass, and Redemption is just not able to shred them here. So they need to try and make something happen. They need to combine all their ultimates, get the ultimate wombo combo. As Simjo is pushing in here onto the core, they're just choosing to go in for the core. The knockup is there, the double onto Lee. They're trying to follow out of the Kai there is with the stun as well, and that is going to be the core dropping. That is it, Royal. They don't need it. They don't need kills. They just need that win here in game number 1.